Today we're reacting to one of my favorite creators to make reactions to in the gacha sphere right now. He is a newer creator that you might have seen a couple of videos from before. And I actually find him pretty likable and charismatic. I enjoy his personality quite a bit, but the takes that he has are always really something special. I had a lot of hopium that this video had an interesting concept, but as always with Neyaire, this video took kind of a turn. So I tried to give the homie Neyaire as much credit as possible. I hope that you guys enjoy. Subscribe!
I think Acheron's kit is problematic. Now, it's not because she's OP, or it's not because of her design, or anything like that. It's for something very specific that I think is incredibly unethical. So what I'm talking about right now is Acheron's technique. This thing I think is going to affect everyone. If you're free to play a whale, anything in between, because this.
Thus far, I'm tracking, guys. Her technique is a quality of life that is actually insane as the time goes on, and if nobody else ever gets anything that can do something like what she does with her technique.
Something outside of, I think, the gameplay. So let's just get into her technique. So basically what this does in a nutshell is you can just one-shot any mob in the game and get the rewards for it. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if you didn't get the rewards, but I'll just show you here quickly that if you just use it, they insta-die and you get the rewards from it.
Yes.
Boom, look at that. I think that is completely unethical. Now, why do I think that's unethical? It's because that is literally a quality of life update instilled within.
I am acquiring hopium because I do think that this is not bad. I think that it is okay to point out that putting such a nice quality of life on a 5-star limited character could be seen as unethical. So far, I'm liking where we're going.
A character, and this is bad. If you know anything about marketing, this is genius, brilliance, any other word you want to use, marketing, but it is completely unethical. It is past that line. Selling a character based on merit, so if it's strong, if they're really cool looking, they have nice animations, is one thing. That's fine. Keeping it to the gameplay, keeping it to the combat is fine. But when you start implementing bonuses in the game where, hey, if you get this character, you get extra fucking stamina, I think that's fucked up, because just imagine that guy that's free to play.
No, I don't think that that is a good comparison, because Acheron gives quality of life that just means that you get to basically skip certain battles, right? Giving a character stamina would be messing with the monetization of that game, and that would be significantly more unethical and grosser than getting to skip certain battles. I don't think that is an equitable comparison, and this goes back to what I've said about this individual before, that I think his argumentation style is not very good, but that's okay.
That guy that's free to play, that literally he cannot spend money, and he's been waiting for a character to come out that he really liked, he thought was cool, the animations were cool, he liked the kid, etc. And then leaks come out that another character will come out that will give you double artifacts. Think about that for a second. If they drop
these are very bad comparisons. Comparing it to Trailblaze power and comparing it to getting more relics is kind of like insane, because both of those have to do with the monetization of Honkai Star Rail. It would never happen. They literally gave you extra stamina, refund on materials, or double artifacts when they're in your team. That character is a must pull, because if you don't have that character, this is such a terrible, whatever the argument is, it's kind of annoying me because this is such a terrible lead up to it.
On your team, you're literally wasting IRL time. That quality of update is eons.
But that's not just time. That's also money, bro. What?
Infinity times more valuable than just 25% more damage or a damage power creep or anything like that. Is something that you need to pull on. And it's really scary because now that it's live, they have to power creep it. Even if it's by 1%, they have to power creep it to some degree. They can't release.
So this is what I mean, where like he makes points that could absolutely be valid, but like the setup to this point is so awful.
It's another DPS or another character with mediocre abilities and stuff, right? They have to one up it some way. And what other way could they one up this ability?
Techniques are not the only thing that characters can do. I would say that her kit is overloaded because of her technique and also her lack of needing energy, and also because she can break any weakness regardless of it being weak to electric.
One-shot elites. I feel like it could get really bad. Hopefully not. We don't know the future, but I feel like since it's live already, it's too late. I feel like we're going to start getting characters that have quality of life updates that will kind of ruin the gameplay flow, because there's not much to do in the game already. But, you know, I mean, that's up for debate. If you like to farm the whole world, then that's, you know, that's whatever. But still, man, I think this is bad ultimately for the game. I truly think.
I think that is why you could argue that her kit is problematic for the game, because it's so much quality of life along with additionally her ultimate, right? Me personally, I like Acheron. Acheron has made it much more fun to play the game. It's made it much more fun to farm Simulated Universe, because that shit kind of sucks. And I don't personally mind the quality of life. I understand the point that he's trying to make, but I personally just like to play Acheron and don't really care.
We'll start to see characters where you'll get like extra artifacts, or you'll get extra stamina or something like that. Maybe not anytime soon.
That's never going to happen.
Eventually it'll get there if they keep up with these patterns.
No, it's not. This is a slippery slope argument, and it sucks. This argument sucks. There is never going to be a character that will get you more Trailblaze power or let you get more relics more quickly. That is never going to happen. That gets in the way of monetization. That is a terrible, awful, slippery slope take. It's awful.
People are going to be pulling for updates rather than the actual characters that they like. And I think that's bad for the game, because the characters matter. And I feel like that's just kind of like an unhealthy relationship between the audience and the company. But, you know, on the company's part, it's genius marketing. But for the player base, I don't want to feel forced to pull a character because there's a QOL update in the character. But what?
They have said that they plan on doing a similar QOL update to Simulated Universe in updates. Like, I think that she is a very good pull for most people's accounts. I will say that. I would say that I would personally recommend getting Acheron regardless, because I think she's just a really nice character to have. She does add quality of life. She makes it easier to build your account. She's really nice. But I'm not going to say anybody's forcing you to do anything.
Let's move on here. Now, Hoyoverse has done this plenty of times before with Genshin Impact. They have characters that literally refund you materials. I don't remember which ones. I haven't played Genshin Impact in I don't know how many years, but I know that they're there, and I'll probably show something on screen. They're okay with doing this. But in this game where it's...
This is not how he is describing this. So these are for weapon ascension materials that you can craft, that you also have to farm. If you guys play Genshin Impact, the weapon ascension materials, the crafting, you have to walk around the map for like 30 minutes, and they'll give you back some of the materials sometimes to help it be a little bit more helpful in Genshin. But in Genshin, this is not in any way equitable to getting double relics. This is a small chance to get extra chicken. Dead ass. This is nowhere near the value of getting double relics or extra Trailblaze power. Those are nowhere near the same. And if you think it is, you are indented in your skull. Holy shit, that is dumb.
They're okay with doing this. But in this game where it's turn-based, it's not open world, I feel like it just hits a little different. Well, you could say, well, this isn't a big issue. It's just a minor thing. Who cares? Who knows what they'll do in the future? Well, patterns exist, brother. And all I gotta say is I've seen this happen in this game before, but I never really said anything because it was just like, whatever. So we'll start with Yukong. So Yukong's technique allows you to run faster. Now, I'm
having a hard time, guys. Because yes, this is a very alarming pattern in the case that this was a pattern that had been set. He's saying Trailblaze power and 3 extra chicken are the same value. That is insane.
The reason I didn't think this was a huge issue is because 1 is a 4-star. Every person in the game will eventually be able to get a 4-star of their choosing.
Yeah, and also Yukong sucks, so nobody uses Yukong. Yukong is an awful unit that basically nobody ever uses. And also, it's this is very, very low levels of quality of life. This is not giving thus far.
Eventually, you'll lose the 50-50. You'll probably get a 4-star you don't want. You'll end up with at least one copy of every 4-star. So I didn't think this was an issue, but it did make me scratch my head because I'm like, okay, like that's a little weird. Not a big deal. 4-star is just running fast, right? It's not actually skipping the game, right? It's just getting you point A to B, whatever.
Right.
But then you have Topaz, not as crazy, but she gives you extra credits. Again, made me scratch my head. But here's the thing.
A maximum of 10,000 bonus credits is genuinely fuck all in Honkai Star Rail.
Kept it to the gameplay. Hey, if you fight, you get this. And I think that's fine. But this is the biggest jump where it's just like, yeah, fuck the gameplay. Just swipe them out of existence and you get the rewards. I think that is bad. And I want to give an...
Well, then if you didn't get the rewards, the technique would be completely useless. Like, so what is the solution here? That we just make her technique actually completely useless and actually unusable? Because that bricks the technique.
Okay, I'm going to give you a real good example of why this is bad, because this is marketing 101.
I'm waiting.
Create a problem and you sell the solution. This is what this is. Hey, you're tired of fucking going to Sim Universe after, 3 months of playing a game? Well, boy, do I have a character for you. That's what they're doing. If you still don't understand why this is unethical, now I want to give you a real life example of why this is unethical.
My speculation is that since they are making Sim Universe easier to farm in the future, I think that this is a quality of life that is going to be drastically less valuable later on. But I do think that specifically releasing her now when it does have higher value, it could be argued as problematic, but I don't know. Again, I don't really care. I like to being slash. I like to slash just cause it's great.
And a lot of you will be able to relate to this. So first up, all the ladies watching, come close.
That's me.
Turn the volume up.
No, thank you.
Come. Yeah, okay.
No.
You're ugly. You need makeup. Don't go outside. Your friends look better than you. That winged eyeliner makes you look terrible. Those angles make you look fat. That hair color looks horrific on you.
Well, boy, do I have a deal for you. For just $59.99, you can get our special beauty product. Did you see how that is unethical? Some of you probably was like, oh God, no, wait.
I think with the unethical part was just yelling at me. I think we're acting like this was a good point, and it thus far has not been a good point. But like, I'm just gonna be 100% real. I am totally stun-locked by how like bizarre that argumentation just was, and I'm like, I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Wait, now do you see how that is unethical? How I just gave you insecurities and sold you solutions to those insecurities. That is 101 in marketing. Create a problem, sell the solution. Oh, and fellas, you're not left out.
I'm going to create a problem in which I'm going to start an ad break. And the solution is that you have to subscribe to me, Hex_Juice, at twitch.tv/Hex_Juice.
That it is. Come closer. Yeah, that's right. Turn the volume up. That's right. Come on.
You'll never get married. Your cock isn't long enough. Your left ball is bigger than your right ball. You're not tall.
Hey, dude, I'm really self-conscious about my balls. I wasn't even mad about the rest of that stuff, but going after my mismatched ball length is crazy, dude.
Enough. You're ugly. No one will ever love you, and you're bald.
Well, boy, do I have a deal for you. For just $59.99, you get these cock and knee extension pills. Do you see how?
I don't even know where to start on how bad this is. Also, you'll see that nobody subscribed because they know they can just wait. If they don't want to spend the money, if they weren't already considering subscribing, right? They can just wait for the 3-minute ad break or leave because they said, fuck you, HexJuice, you suck. And the same is also true with Honkai Star Rail, right? With Honkai Star Rail, if they were already considering it, or they wanted Acheron, or they like her animations, then yes, they will wish. But if they don't need or want the product, even if a problem is created, then they don't care.
Oh, that's unethical. Again, selling the solution to the problem that I have created. And I said that backwards because I forgot the saying for a minute, but we're going to act like I said that the right way. That is where we're headed.
Also, these banners are always rerun. These banners are regularly rerun. You can just wait.
Going down a hill that we cannot run back up. And sadly, there's a boulder coming down. And that boulder is called Hoyoverse. And I'm not saying this to like bash Honkai. I think Honkai is a great game. They give great rewards, etc. Great story. But I think this part of the game should be compressed because this just will not be fun for anyone. If you're free to play a whale, instead of getting the characters that you ultimately like, maybe you like the character, the design, the abilities, animations, whatever. If this keeps going down this road or this pattern, that won't exist anymore. Now it's just like, well, pull for the characters that have the QOLs or the quality of life updates.
But like some characters are inherently more valuable to most accounts than other characters regardless. I guess my main thing is kind of like focusing in so specifically on the technique. I think this is a bad argument because the technique is good, but I don't think that's the reason that a free-to-play player would be like, I have to pull now. I have to. Like, I don't think that's true.
And I don't think that's fair. So I'm just making this video to warn people, be aware of what's going on because the regular person doesn't know about these things, right? These little marketing tactics and stuff like that. So I think it's important to be aware of when you're getting scammed so you can determine, hey, I want to get scammed.
A scam would specifically be paying for something and then not getting what you paid for. That is not what this is. I think that we could say that maybe we could argue there's like marketing manipulation if you really want to give him a point, but like scammed, you pay the money or you spend your free to play wishes or whatever and you get an amazing character.
Now I'll get scammed later because I remember playing my first gachas, bro, I got with all of the deals. I mean, hey, for $9.99 you can get these gems when really it's like, bro, you just play for 4 days and get the gems anyway. Now I spend money, but I decide when I spend money. That's the difference. I have full control.
I don't think anybody is not in control of swiping. Maybe it feels that way. If you have a gambling addiction, maybe it feels that way, but nobody's like, no, the Hoyoverse is not reaching into your wallet and taking your money to force you to pull for Acheron.
Do not feel FOMO. And I think it's important for people to have control of those urges so they won't be milked by these companies. Why did I use the word milked? Anyway, Hawkeye's a great game, but don't forget, there's still a gacha company. And ultimately, there's still a company. A company's job is to...
A company is a company. A gacha company is a gacha company. And Tectone, as always, is Tectone. Yeah, they do want money. I guess what I'm not understanding is this implication that there is a force. Because like I understand gambling addiction. I understand that the games are like gambling is addictive. I understand that there are tactics in the games to try to get you to bull. But he's acting like you actively are taken, the choices are taken from you. And that's not true. And so using that as the basis of an argument makes it a bad argument.
Make money. That is it. Their service that they provide doesn't matter. It could be tissues. It could be toes. In this case, it's a gacha game. Toes. It's still a company. Never forget that. But that's it. Yeah. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I can't believe Hoyo thought they was going to get away with this. Not on my watch, brother. Try to slip this in like, ooh, and Acheron. Nah, brother. I see what you're doing. And you know what?
Yeah, I'm starting to lose hope for Blood. I think there can be a point that could have been made that Acheron's kit is overloaded. But the argument that you did make was not good, and it was not backed up well because every single bit of evidence you used to back up your argument was poor and in bad faith and false equivalencies and slippery slopes. And I'm pretty like, I think that you have points that you could make and then you just somehow every time just don't make them. But that's all. Say goodbye, YouTube. Man, that was, I was really trying to like, I'm really trying to like give him benefit of the doubt. But like, I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling. But yeah, goodbye, YouTube. See you later.